Okay, I'm working on some kind of proggy thing right now where there's a lot of different time signatures, and in the end, ultimately, what I want to do is be able to improvise over that, which I am kind of able, but you can always be better at that, you know. So it's in constant motion, basically. So what I want to do is I want to first introduce the very simplistic approach, how most people do that, and then I want to kind of go where highly knowledgeable improvisators or just rhythmic people go. I think of jazz drummers, fusion drummers, Latin drummers, all that. Yeah, but what I will be starting with is basically, it's the basics, and I feel like a lot of prog rock and metal drummers, they are stuck there and they feel almost no need to look any further. So what happens here is I analyze it. It's 9/16, 11/16, then 2 bars of 4/4, and then 1 bar of 5/4. So that's a typical kind of, almost like I think that's what Dream Theater and stuff, and you know, all these kinds of bands, they deal with that. And of course, Gentle Giant and all these earlier prog bands too. So the first thing I want to show is basically the prog rock approach, which for me is the most basic approach, where I basically tailor certain grooves and just play the same thing every time. So for example, for the let's start with the last thing, that group of the 5/4, that is basically goes in groups of faster groups of 3, and yeah, if you go 3 times 3, you got 9, and then there's 1 hit that's left, so you got 10. So it's I'm probably playing 8th notes here, so it's so that would be the 5/5, you know, because the 5/4 5/5 the 5/4, because 5/4 means 10/8, and I do it in like this. So 3 groups of 3 and 1 of 1, basically, you know. So that's a very, because the guitars are going like that, so I'm just exactly doing what the guitars are doing, basically. Yeah, that's one thing. And then obviously when the 2 groups of the 2 bars of 4/4 come, that's when I will just be play just a basic 4/4 thing. And the 9 and the 11, I also have to, basically I had to tailor grooves around that. So let's get into it. Yeah, so basically now I played the most simplistic thing that you can play. And I mean, it still will sound kind of cool, but for me, I always want more out of life, you know? So I start improvising on that stuff. But yeah, it's I think it's a good template to have. It's a good thing to know. Okay, over the groups of 4/4, you know, the two bars of 4/4, you can do everything that's good in 4/4. You know, if you wanna, you know, you can do that. But of course, there's so much more different things than that. So when I started improvising, I started fidgeting around with what is it? I guess it would be eighth note triplets, and that gave me trouble with the 9/16 and the 11/16. So I just left it out there. And then as soon as the 4/4 hit, I started going into the triplets. You know, and that's pretty cool. Let me try that next. As I said, best improvisation is always when you don't think about that. So I'll do that for you later, but now I'll try to follow that plan. So yeah, sorry. That worked pretty well, even though I had to stick to a plan which I usually kind of cramps me up a little bit. But this time it worked pretty well. So yeah, you could see in the beginning I was basically still with the tailored kind of stuff, you know, which honestly I will probably retreat to quite often, because yeah, at that speed, 9/16 really fast, you know, 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 1, and then it's just harder to keep track, going off like crazy, you know, and with triplets and stuff. So at least for now, I think I'm staying pretty simple there. But then as soon as the two bars of 4/4 start, that's when I start really going off. Yeah. And yeah, the triplets were just a cool thing. Of course, you can go 16th notes, and then the thing is, I try to avoid that a little bit sometimes, because then you end up playing this stuff all the time, which is fine, it's great, you know, and I'm gonna use it because it's one of the tools that I have. But yeah, I try to always bring in new stuff as well, you know. So I guess the third run through of this will be me trying to freely improvise over this. There can be gaps in there, there can be, I think I'm gonna do a few simple chokes, and I don't know, I'm trying not to plan too much. I would really wanna improvise this. was a good one, I guess. So another thing that's I guess one go-to thing that I want to talk about still is how I treated those groups of three. Remember in the very beginning I just did the basic. Yeah, and now I'm basically doing the doubling up thing. Yeah, so it's that's a good group of three that you can use for that ending. Whatever. Yeah, that's a cool thing. Another thing that I try to look out for is that I don't hit the one on every, like the crash cymbal can't be on every one of the loop, you know, because I think that, I guess that would seem a little bit desperate or something. You always want to make clear, okay, I made it to one, you know. So I really want to dissolve the whole thing a little bit. Okay, that's it. You know what? I'll try another one. I'll do another one just for fun. Maybe I can do a better one. Yeah, maybe that one.